Okay, so today we will now move to the next phase, which is like previously we'll look into how to create the database and the APIs. So how to create sign up APIs, login APIs, and logout, and all the respected how to assign the routes as well. Now today we will look into how to create view front end. We will create a front end folder and we'll work on that. First thing which you have to do is in a new terminal, uh, type npm install -g @view /cli. So we are using view CLI and the command is already present in this Mad2 commands doc which I have shared with you. So if we scroll down, this is the command. So let it install. Okay, once this is installed, the next command you have to run is view space create and click on front end. Once you will click on this, it will ask to give you this prompt. So manually go to this manually select features, hit space enter, uh, go to router and hit space. Space is like to select that particular section. So we are using router installation and hit enter. Select 3.x. Use history mode by default. This one as it is. Save this as preset for future project. You can set it as no, and it will start. So it will automatically install the front end dependencies, means front end folder, and it will start the front end download procedure. So once this would be done, you would have a demo project of the front end running in your local server. We will see how it looks and we'll move forward to next time. Okay, once this is done, now how to run the server is also one thing you have to remember. This there would be two servers that you overall would be more servers. Like when we will be doing the backend task, we would be needing four more terminals also. So for now, uh, currently you can go ahead with this one. So go to cd front end, uh, clear, and type npm run serve. And as soon as you will hit, it will start a development server. Already the commands are there to run the front end, and you will get this link. So you can copy this link and paste it here. So you can see that it already have the routes. So clicking on this, we are redirected to different routes as well, and this is the home page. Now there is another thing which is previously you were using only app.route in the backend app.py to manage all different routes, but now there would be different routes in the backend and in the front end as well. Well, which means is backend task and front end task is completely independent from each other. We will be using we will be connecting both of them uh, by the different modules, but front end would have a different routing and all the overall structure of it, and the backend would have a different structure of the routing part. Overall, the routing which is defined is inside the src folder. We have to go to router, and in that index.js you would be able to see this. So what we are doing here is we are importing the home view.view, which is the file view file assigning a variable name which is home view, and here in the const routes we are defining the path of that particular component. So name is home, so this one, and path is the route folder, and this is links to this. Next we have this about page, and that is linked to about view.view, and this is this one. So this is the overall basic structure which will be ready, will be given ready made to you by the commands which we are running, view create and all those commands. Now from this point on we will make changes for our particular needs. So first thing we have to do is uh, we will create some uh, login user.view files and user signup.view files. These two files we will try to create today. So first thing we will look into user signup. So in this src folder you can create a new folder as well. There is no compulsion. Just remember that assets should be remain same. So in the assets you have to paste only the content which you think is static, like images or any those part of images, or same for router. You can create new folders. Don't interfere with the existing ones. In existing ones by means that is structure wise. So you have, if you are using existing structure, you can put the view files inside the components or in the views folder. Or if you want a newer folder, you can just click new one. Just let's say auth, and I'm created a new folder. Inside it, let's say user signup.view, and we have created this one. Also, one thing to remember is the naming convention which we have to use in when we are naming a view file is you have to use multi words, means two words with capital letters at the start, no uh, any punctuation or any other special characters is allowed. So that would remain same. So just capital letters to multi-word letters without any space, and both of them in capital. Now, the overall structure of view works is there are different things. So, template is the one where we put our HTML content. Then we have this script section where we put the JavaScript part, the logic of it. And then we have this style tag where we put the styling of a particular page here. So all those previously until then in the Mad1 you were using three different structures for a very large piece of code, three different piece of files you have to create to maintain the HTML, JavaScript and styling for a single component. Here you can put all those things in a single file, which is this user signup.view, in a more better format, which through which it is easy to understand and separate them out in three different sections. One is this template, then we have the script, and then we have style. So first we will try to write down the template of it. So in the template we will create a sign up form, and form uh, at the rate submit equals to sorry, submit dot prevent equals to sign up user, and then we will put a label. Label you should already know, like before any input box we usually give. Then an input box type would be text, and id would be username, and b model. So previously you were using, like in the Mad1 you would have to use name equals to uh, username, something like this, to assign the variable where the input field would be stored. Here in the view we use v dash model. So in this v dash model, whatever the variable name you define, whatever the input you will do will input in this particular box, it will be stored inside this particular variable. Same way we would create another one, would that would be for uh, label for, let's say, email, email, and input type this. Then for password, password input type text, and this one. And at the end, we could give a button here, type equals to submit, sign up, and after this form, div element. Now, previously you were using something like this. Uh, Outside the div element, if condition or something. Now, and that was using Jinja. In view, we use v dash if to in denote in if condition. So if error message, we will show error message. This will remain same to show the variable, to define a variable inside any div elements or any in the HTML side. We use we enclose them under the this double curly braces sign. So this remains same. Next, we will be typing the script part of it. So before this, any doubt on this template section, you can ask. Okay, so we will go to script section where we would be writing in a script. So now we talk about like connecting the backend and the front end. To connect those, the like we will be using this Axios thing, which is a way through which we can communicate with the backend from the front end side and execute our APIs call and all those information. So we will use export default and this. So export default, this is the way. Then here in the data section, we define the variables which we have defined at the top. So all these variables which is inside this v dash model currently does not will be giving an error because it is not defined in the script. So we usually define it. So at the start, it should be an empty fields. So same for password, and then we have an error message. So this is where we will define any data variables which we are using here. Next part which is important is methods. Methods is the functions which would be executed based on our response. So in our case, it is when we will click on the sign up button, this sign up user function should be called, and it should sign up the user from sign up user. Okay, so now here we will define the function name. So async call we will make sign up, and this here what we will do is we will try to write down try block. So try uh, await excuse, and then what type of method you are triggering. So in this case we have to trigger post. So excuse dot post. If we want to trigger get, so excuse dot get, same delete. So all those are available. So excuse dot post, then this dot copy the URL of the backend from here, and then sign up, comma, under the curly braces we will define, we will send those values. So this dot username, comma this. So what we are doing, this is the one which will be sent. So in our this case, we this is the key, and its value is this one, which is stored here. And to call this one in our methods, we have to use this dot username, which refers to this particular variable. Same with the email and the password, and we will send it if it is a correct request. So we will route the user to slash login page, and if we have got any error, so catch error, this dot error message, which means again we are calling this and we will save the error message here, is equals to error dot response question mark. First, if response dot data, if it is present, then we will use that particular error. Otherwise we have defined our own uh, that this one. So we will save this. So this has been defined, but currently this is not being linked to any route. To define a route, go to index. We will write import user sign up from dot slash auth slash user sign up dot view. Let's say copy this one. We can define it here. So slash, let's say sign up user sign up and save. So can't resolve. So if you are getting this error can't resolve, just the way to do is npm install xuse and hit enter, and it will install the xuse in our particular version. Now if I run it again, we are not getting any error. So we will go again slash sign up, and you can see that we are getting this username, email, and password option. So let's create a new user. So first try with the previous one, user1 at the rate gmail.com. User1 okay. Username already exists, so we are able to show the error message here as well. User1, user2, and user2, and we will hit on sign up, and you can see we have been redirected to slash login, as currently that page does not exist, so we are not able to see the content, but overall we have been redirected to the new page. And to confirm once again, we can see in the user we have added a new user as well. In this one change which we required is type should be password. So one thing which is required. So this is how you can implement the login page in your application. Okay. Any doubt in this part? Anyone? Please respond if you are. Uh, yes.
No, not before.
Okay. We will look into Also, an important thing which is to show is currently you can see this two navbar contents are present in every page. That is because there is a one. So all those files which you are created is the child components, and the main component, which is the parent component, is this app.view file, where this thing, whatever you will write it down here, would be shown to any page which is available right here. So this is why these two sections router link are showing you on all those pages. So this is the parent component. So let's say you have a navbar or something which you want that it should be visible on each and every page. It could be dynamic, but at the end it should be visible to each and every page, and you don't want to like you don't have to type it again and again or something. So you can put it in this app.view file, and it will remain same. And also same with the styling. So whatever the styling you will put it in the app.view will be implemented in each and every pages uh, of the child components. And inside this user sign up view, whatever the code you will write down will be remain same to this particular page itself. So this is an important thing. Also, there is one thing in the styling. The way to use styling in this is this way: style equals to scope. Scope is an important thing, which is like it restricts and is like an extra security layer. So whatever the styling you would be implemented, whatever you will write it down here would not goes outside this particular component and will not be implemented in any other pages of your section. So that is why it should be. Yes.
I have one doubt. The way you
Yes.
are explaining this one, this is like a single page application kind of a thing, or it will be a is different way. I'm not exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Can you be a little louder?
No, I'm asking whether the demonstration what you are showing it is based on a single page application kind of a application, or it is multiple. I don't know, I'm not sure how.
Multiple.
Okay. So that means we need to have multiple pages separately created and you will be stitching it, right?
Yes.
Is it mandatory that you should do like this or you should go for a single page application kind of a thing?
Single page you can go ahead, but in that scenario we have to maintain multiple conditions so that any no information which could not be seen to to the user side or to will not pass down. So that is the important thing which you have to maintain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, next thing we will look into is uh, sign up user login dot view. You can we can use the same component, just few changes would be needed. So that would be login. We don't need this email thing. Login. So it's all right if you're using the same component somewhere else in your application, but also make sure like if you are using any GPT based something to generate or to rectify some issues, just make sure that you change the variables whatever it is giving, because it could be the scenario as also in our degree we have like a good strength. So it could be the case mostly everyone uses chat GPT and some GPT GPTs to correct their code or write some code. So please just make sure you changes those variable names and all, because otherwise you could be caught in some serious issues if you got in plagiarism or something. So just maintain those things, and that would be everything else would be fine. So now there would be few changes in this.
Can you explain
Yes.
once again what is that? I'm not able to get it.
So the scenario is, let's say you was trying to write down some hello. Can
Yes.
you mute, like it's echoing? Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, let's say you are trying to write this function using ChatGPT. It could be a case that the ChatGPT, whatever the code it is writing, it could have suggested the same code to someone else in the degree as well, because there is a high chance of, because the overall logic remains same, the component is, which is the structure which tech stack which you are using view remains same. So that would be like variable names and overall things would be remain same. Just make sure you use the gpts and all as low as possible, just to like solve some serious issues or something which you are not able to find out, or to complete any one short part of the code, not the complete code out from the gpt. So that until that phase is fine. Using because uh, using complete GPT to build your project could be a little harmful, as it causes it could, your code can caught in a plagiarism.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So now in this thing, what the changes are. So we would be using we would be accepting an access token and user info. These two informations from the response.data, and we will let's say for now we will console.log user, which is the information which we are getting, and we will be using local storage dot set item and same this one. And now what we will do, if user dot role is equal admin, we would redirect the user to admin dashboard. And else if we could use else this user dashboard. We don't need this one. And yeah, so local storage is like is on the client side. So on the client side there is a facility on the each browser where we, if we want to save some informations which we want, we have to use it later on, like which in one phase is we have to send this access token again to the backend for validity checks and all those information, like for this JWT required. So we need to save this token on a client side basis. So we would be using this local storage to save this information on the client side. Same with the user info. And based on the role, we would be redirecting user to the different routes of the pages. So now let's test this thing out. So we could go to router. You can copy as it is, login, 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 save. Response is not defined. Uh, okay, sorry. Response response equals to wait. Now let's go to login. User one, user one. I think this was the correct password. and log in. See, we have been redirected to slash user dashboard. And if we want to confirm, like to check where the store informations have been saved, right click on your dashboard in browser, click on inspect, or you can click on F12, the function key, and in this console, go to this three arrows. If you are not seeing any option here, click on application. In this storage section, you would be seeing this local storage. Click on the route, and here you could see that this is the access token that is being saved. So there was something else running. So let me demonstrate it. User one, user enter it. Let me do inspect console. Click on login. So we do the console.log. So console.log prints the information in this console section, where we can do use it for like same way it is like print statement, but on the browser side we can print those statements in this particular section, which through which we can, if we want to debug some things, so we can do it from here. Then we have to go to this application, local storage, and see we have this access token and the user information, which are showing us the different informations that are available to us. So this we could use later on for, in our case, to show it uh, to show it, and also the important thing which is required. Okay, so this is how you can implement the login and the sign up thing. Now next thing we will look into app.view, where we will write down the logout functionality, and also we will try to implement a dynamic navbar, which would be like based on different roles or based on different particular thing. We would be defending our uh, navbar content. So we could use div if is authenticated, is authenticated, and user role is user. So then in that case, we would be showing router link to user dashboard, and also div if is authenticated. We would give a button logout on click. We would execute this function. So what it means is when we will click on this button, it should trigger this function, which we will be writing down here. So now we will write down the script. We will import Axios, as we would be it would be used to do the logout part. Export default data return is authenticated, and the user role, which should be is authenticated to false and user role to null. And now the important thing, this methods which we have written it here is like whenever we will specifically call this particular function, it would be triggered. Now we want that, let's say whenever our function would be the whenever our page would be loaded, we want this function to be called automatically. So we can use this created. So which is whenever the page will be mounted on the server side, it will check or run the particular function which we have mentioned it here. So created. So what we are doing is we are written down this created thing where we will check the authorization content of it. So how to do this is check auth. We would be using const token equals to local storage dot get item. So the way to store item is set item. To get it from there is get item, and we will also see in the logout function how to remove it. So and also user info json dot parse local storage dot get item user. Now if token and then user is present, this dot is authenticated equals to true, and this information else we would set the this section, and that's it. Next function which we are writing is the logout, where we will use access token equals to get item and axios dot post dot um, logout comma null comma how to send the this. So in the yesterday session we looked into like how to send this bearer token using this thunder client. The way to do it in the JavaScript is comma write it down headers curly braces inside this is write this particular word authorization dash bearer dollar access token, and it would be sent to the backend side. And if everything is run perfectly, so then is if there is no error, so we will use local storage dot remove item user. We will change the is authenticated to false, this dot user role to null, and we can send the user to sign up page. And if we have catch any error, we put console.log login failed, logout failed, and error. Let me um, okay. Now you can see that currently as we logged in as a normal user, we are able to see this user dashboard and the logout. As soon as we click on logout button, we have been the information that was saved in the local storage is been removed, and also from the dashboard itself we have been redirected to the slash sign up page, and at the navbar also the content of the navbar has also been changed. So this is how you can implement a dynamic navbar based on the person is an authenticated person or not. So any doubts in this particular part? Anyone, any doubts? Okay, then so we'll look into more things. So we looked into how to like write down the login and the sign up page, how to write down the JavaScript code and to implement and send the data. So like connecting backend to the front end side and using sending post requests and all those. Also, we have looked into how to implement a logout functionality on front end with also sending the authorization header token. Um, so for now, we have another session tomorrow as well. So I would request until then to please give it a try. Even for one page, please give it a try to set up the front end and specifically write down sign up or any one of the pages content from your own or try to understand, because it's an important section of the part, as the backend is already you have already familiar with, because in the mad one also you have written down overall all the functions of it. Only changes which had happened is instead of rendering the template, you are sending the data to front end side, but overall nothing has changed very big. Logic remains same, but what major big change is the front end side, which we are now using. So I would suggest please go through code, try to look into each one of the function, and if you have any doubts, ping me on the group so that we can sort it out. Also, important thing is, as this node modules is a very big folder which would not be published to the GitHub, and during the submission of your level, your project as well, you have to remove this node modules. So, to the way to do is, one way is if your working desktop is slow, do not delete this. Make a copy of this particular project folder, and from there delete this node modules. If it is fast, just delete the node modules from here. Only delete that one because you can get it back again. The way is just type npm space install, and as soon as you will hit run this, it will reload it. It will gives you back this node module folder, and you can rerun your project. So I did npm install, started the server, and it started again. Just remember, you have to delete only the node modules, nothing else, because it could create an issue for you. So only delete this node modules, and same way git add, git commit, uh, day 2 front end iteration, git push. Okay, so we can see that code changes are being done. So this is how you can publish your code and to the GitHub as well. Just remember to make those changes and fill the Google form. If you have not done the GitHub part, please do it, as you could lose around 7 marks from the if you have not done the GitHub setup and not fill the Google form. So please do it on the priority basis. Any doubts or anything, if you are not able to, please put it on the chat box. Please react so that I can know. Arshad, Venu, Tvaisha, Niranjan. Uh, Google form is already in this. Let me check. If you go to this resources, in the resources we have this Git helper document. Open this one, and if you scroll down, uh, you would be able to see it here. So for Mad2, please fill out this form. Okay. Okay then. So today we like look into the integration of backend and front end. We would have another session yesterday. We will try to implement the role-based access control, which is to protect our routes. By that, what I means is currently anyone can access any path which we have defined till now. We have to protect those as well. So we will look into how to protect those routes. Also, we will look into how to like we have already looked into login, sign up, logout. We will try to complete the CRUD operation on the front end side as well. Overall, token based part we have covered. Role based is pending. APIs and models, these two things we have already covered, and this is not a functionality now required. So another thing which would be left is CRUD search, which we will cover simultaneously. And also we could have our RBAC control only we will cover. Okay, let's do one thing. We would be having only the role based access control, which would hardly take 30 minutes. Afterwards, I would end the session recording. You can try, you please come up with some doubts related to anything, logic of the function, any error or issues which you are facing, and we would try to solve it out in the yesterday session. Is it fine with everyone? Okay then. Okay, so on the GitHub code is already been updated, so you can get the latest code from there itself. And as soon as I will get the recordings, we'll share the YouTube link with you again. And yeah, that's it for today's. We could be a little bit slow, but everything should be covered. So that's why we need we need some time. Also, after the quiz, we would be having. Also, please confirm. Do you need a break on Friday and Saturday before quiz one? Okay, so we would be having break on 11th and 12th, or on 13th especially. We will extend our bootcamp to till Wednesday, which is 16th July. So later on, we would extend.